This is Mel Pine with the 6th episode of the From the Pure Land podcast. It's going out simultaneously as a blog on the Substack app, and if you'd like to read it in blog form and my other posts there, you can go to melpine, MELPINE, .substack, SUBSTACK.com. Finding Equanimity in a Troubled World, a guided meditation. Equanimity is the quality of heart that balances the movement of the heart with wisdom. Equanimity allows us to care while also owning the limits of that care. It is not detachment because our heart is still engaged. We learn to take wise action when appropriate, and we let go of attachment to outcomes. That was a quotation from the Tattooed Buddha. Inspired by my dharma siblings, with whom I sit for an hour every morning via Zoom, I decided to write and record a meditation here to help us all balance our empathy with our equanimity during these troubled times that we're living in. No matter how comfortable our individual lives may be, we can't help feeling the pain of the world's violence. Its searing divisiveness and its catastrophic environmental events. The lands considered holy by Abrahamic religions are engulfed in technologically frightening warfare that's on the verge of spreading. In Nepal, with its deep significance to Buddhists and Hindus, hundreds have died in flash floods this week and earlier this year during a period of severe monsoons. Communication has not yet been fully restored, so the effects of the recent flooding remain to be determined. But Nepal is disproportionately vulnerable to climate change. In the United States, which also has seen unprecedented flooding in the past week, the closely divided and widely separated electorate is nearing an election that could be pivotal for the world as well as the nation. We in this country continue to struggle with an influx of refugees at our southern border. They're fleeing political and environmental instability. Also, political and environmental instability is driving would-be immigrants toward Europe, where political systems are being strained, and war continues between Russia and Ukraine. We know that the world has recovered from devastation before. We know that intellectually. From 1939 to 1945, the Second World War resulted in up to 85 million fatalities, more than 50 million of them civilians. Tens of millions were dislocated and forced to find new homes. The bubonic plague from 1347 to 1351 is estimated to have cost Europe and China half of their population, and the Middle East a third. The resulting disruptions lasted decades. Still, in times like we're living through now, some of us experience empathy fatigue, running out of emotion. Others, known as empaths, can't stop feeling the pain of others. Both extremes might consider the difference between empathy and compassion. We need to keep hold of our compassion, our deep desire to help, while limiting our emotional absorption of others' pain. Our emotional and tangible resources are limited, so we aim to train our minds to focus on what we can do, not everything that should be done. So, find a comfortable place to meditate in whatever position you prefer. You would like your back straightish, so air can flow easily in and out. If you're seated, your hands may rest on your thighs or knees. If you're in a chair, you might rest both feet on the floor or ground or on a cushion. Your eyes may be open or closed. If they're open, avoid squinting or focusing on anything in particular. You can scan your body for areas of tension, and when you're ready, you rest in your awareness of breathing. You might follow your breathing, starting with the air as it's about to enter your nose. You sense the movement of the air and its temperature. Then you might follow the air down into your lungs, where maybe you can note a temperature change. And then back out through your mouth. You're just breathing naturally. As you exhale, you might make a sound like ah. Ah. Each exhalation brings you deeper into relaxation. That's not something you have to do. It's something you allow. Just breathe naturally in awareness for a while. When your mind wanders, gently return to awareness of breath. Now, if your eyes are open, you might rest them gently, close them gently, as you imagine yourself on a plateau, on a mountainside, with a seemingly endless view before you. A figure emerges from the warm glow of the sun. That figure represents love, compassion, and wisdom. It might be a human or other form of life, alive or having left this realm. It might be a deity or an imaginary being. Whatever you choose as your representation of love, compassion, and wisdom. Just visualize it before you. It's near you, just a few feet in front of you. And you might allow that image to dissolve into light and absorb it into yourself, merging your love, compassion, and wisdom with its. I'll give you some time to rest in awareness with your merged love, compassion, and wisdom. Now, in your mind, look out over the vast landscape before you. You're there on your plateau, on the mountainside. And what you see before you seems to go on forever. Could be hills, pastures, rivers, cities. And you recognize you're interconnected with all of it. Interconnected with all of it, but limited in your control over even a tiny part of it. In your wisdom, you know that you can spread your love and compassion over the entire landscape. You can add your loving kindness to the interconnected web that unites all of it. But you can have a more direct impact on only the area around you. Take a look at the area around you, again in your mind. Think about what you can control, what you can take responsibility for, while you're spreading your loving kindness in an unlimited way. Your compassion is unlimited. But you can have a direct involvement on only a tiny piece of it. I'll close by the prayer Lama Surya Das wrote for the new millennium, I guess almost 25 years ago. May all beings everywhere, with whom we are inseparably interconnected, and who want and need the same as we do, may all be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, and free. May there be peace in this world and throughout all realms of existence, an end to war, violence, poverty, injustice, and oppression, and may we all together complete the spiritual journey.